Hey guys, it's Brooke here, and I'm gonna do a video. I know you guys haven't seen that many videos from me this week, but I'm trying to get them in here. Just walking down the street and just wanted to talk to you guys about something. This week has been a really tough week for me because I had to um, acknowledge things that have happened in my past that I didn't have a chance to say I was sorry to a few people. And I was feeling a lot of pain over it for a long time. And I decided to take the step to say, I'm sorry to them. And sometimes saying you're sorry to people that you've hurt in the past is very hard, but it's something that you have to do in order for your soul and your spirit to heal. And the healing process takes time, but as long as you keep doing the right thing every day, it will continue to do that. You have to sometimes in your life let things die and transform, and the only way to do that is to confront your darkest demons, which is one of the hardest things to do as well. In Star Wars, they talk about the Force, and it could be used for dark and for light, and that's how the spirit works, that's how energy works. And in the past, a lot of messed up things happened to me. Like, for one, my brother died, and I didn't know what to do about that anger and that frustration, so unwillingly I took that out on other people, and instead of getting the right kind of help, I ended up being a piece of shit. And I had to look myself in the mirror and take responsibility. Like, yes, I was a piece of shit, and it wasn't their fault, and I feel terrible about it. And in life, sometimes you have to be courageous and say, you know what, I was a piece of shit back then because I was upset about a lot of things going on, and I took that out on people that didn't deserve it. And I'm pretty sure those people will never ever want to be near me again. I'm pretty sure of that. But that's okay, because you know what? As long as I know I did the right thing, that's the best I could do, and pray for them and hope that everybody that has been feeling some sort of pain from me, which I don't intend to hurt people. It's just I was fucked up, right? I was fucked up, and when you're fucked up, you say things, you don't mean things, you do and you say, and you just gotta make peace with things. Those little things buried deep inside your heart that you never gave yourself the time to deal with. And this is the time for me to deal with this, because my spirit said it's time. It's time to confront those demons, and it's time to confront the things that are in the spiritual closet, because if you don't, then people could be hurting and suffering inside, and it's not right, So this week I'm spending my time dealing with the past, because I don't want to have to, like, the past is dead. If you really want to be, understand spirituality, the reality is the past is doesn't exist anymore. But the things that you've done in the past, right? The things you've done in the past, and the people you hurt and making mistakes, you hold on to that, and that doesn't die until you take the step to rectify those things. So I pray and hope that anybody I've hurt in the past, they have forgiveness. If not, if they don't have forgiveness, then I really don't know what to do. All I could do is say I'm sorry and, just own up to the pain that karma has dealt, kicked my ass several times for the past decade. I'm willing to let some things go. Sometimes the hardest thing to do in your life is to let things go. And you need to let things die, make peace with it, correct your mistakes, and let things die, because if you don't, you hold on to that until the end. And even after you pass away, you're still holding on to that. We got to understand that we're in the matrix. This world isn't real, okay? And all the little petty minor shit that folks go through, we got to stop holding on to these things. But what really does matter besides the matrix and the things we do? Because those things don't really matter. What really matters is love. and light. And if we take other people's light and fragment people, we have to take responsibility for that. And sometimes we can't look ourselves in the mirror and say, wow, I did that. I was a monster. I was so screwed up. I don't even know, like, you know, if anyone has ever felt the pain of losing a sibling or something like that. But that's no excuse for what, you know, the things I was doing. But I didn't understand what was going on with me because of the trauma that was going on in my life. I went through PTSD and split personalities and you know what happens with people who go through MK Ultra and stuff, where their brain splits into different compartments. Well, that's what happened to me when all this trauma stuff was happening, and I had all these little personalities and all these little things going on with me, and I didn't understand why I would do certain things. And when I actually started studying metaphysics and spirituality and getting deeper into it, because I was always a spiritual person, but you know, when you come into another human body, you forget all the stuff you've learned because the brain can't process it, but the information is still there, but you have to actually seek knowledge for you to unlock it. Excuse me, my throat's dry and my allergies, but we all have knowledge in our soul because the soul never dies. It's just that our human body it takes its time to process the information. So I just had to come to terms with the things that I've done in the past. You can't run from yourself, but you also want to have forgiveness, because just as I hold on to grudges and I hate people from my past as well, and I get angry about things and I think about them at the wrong time. Like, have you guys ever felt like you're living in the past and in the future, but you can't live in the moment ever? Well, here's some reality for you. The past and the future don't exist. And they never existed. It's just a memory. The thing that really is important is your soul. And sometimes, like I said before, we could lose our light and we could be fragmented, and pieces of our soul can be in different parts, stuck somewhere in trauma. And my spirits told me it's time for me to understand who I am and know thyself. In order to do that, you have to face your demons. You have to face the dark parts of you and acknowledge that. And that's what I went through this weekend. You know, I could only do my best. I'm not on earth to hurt people. You know, I'm here to help people. And if I hurt people, you know, I'm terribly sorry. I punish myself constantly for things that I wish I hadn't said and done. But you know what? We're in the Matrix. None of that shit matters though. But what does matter is that we say we're sorry to people that we hurt. And that you have forgiveness too, because if you can't forgive somebody, then you're carrying a burden with you too. Especially if someone's trying to make things right, you know. Because I wasn't the most right person at all. I was really fucked up. You know, really messed up. Went through trauma, abuse, abandonment, death, men playing me out and all these things, and being treated like a piece of shit. And I projected that onto other people, and other people started hating me, but in reality I hated myself, and that reflected in my reality as well. You know, sometimes we self-sabotage because that's how we feel about ourselves inside. Everything starts from within. I wanted people to hate me because I hated myself and I hated my life. So in a weird subconscious way, I did things to get people to hate me because I liked to be punished. I was sadistic. I liked pain because I felt like I deserved it. And that's just not a way of life, you know. It's just not a way of life. So it doesn't matter what we do in the past. Sometimes I can't believe I did this, and I can't. Some people, they email me sometimes and be like, yeah, and I keep having this dream about the past and that. Well, if you keep having reoccurring dreams, that usually means that there's an unresolved spiritual issue that has to be taken care of. That's very important that you do that. But back to what I was saying about the past, present, and the future. The past and the future don't exist. Okay? The way we understand time is not correct. Time doesn't operate the way we think that it does. Past is only a memory. We're in this matrix to raise our vibration so that we can get out of here and get to the higher realms and get to new knowledge and new understanding of the universe, get closer to the Most High. We're not here to hurt each other all the time. I mean, if we make mistakes, it's okay. I think people, the problem with them is they obsess about what they did wrong, but they're not looking at the lesson and moving forward. What's most important is the lessons learned. All little petty shit from the past is, I used to obsess about it because I like to punish myself over my mistakes. You know, very, very, because I know better, but at the same time, it's not about knowing. Because see, some mistakes we make have nothing to do with logic. Sometimes people are just emotional and in pain, and when someone's in pain, they try to drink and smoke and go to the club and get into crazy relationships with folks and will do anything to escape the pain. And there's nothing wrong with that, but at one point or another, you have to just say, you know what, this is not the way. This is not the way I want my life to go. And, you know, I'm not here to destroy souls, and I'm not here to fragment people, and I'm not here to take your light. But I want to uplift people and raise vibration and raise the energy and raise the frequency. And if, you know, if you feel that you're doing something the complete opposite of that, then you have to sit down and reflect, you know, because we all have darkness. We all have parts of ourselves that we don't want to acknowledge because we're afraid to say, man, I am a monster and I'm a piece of shit. It's hard to say that sometimes, but it's good that we say that because we're taking responsibility for who we are, and we're saying, you know, I'm not perfect, but let's try to do better next time, and that's good, you know. Another thing I want to point out is you could do the right thing every day and people will still hate you. I used to get upset about that a long time ago. I used to be like, I'm doing everything right, but why do people give me shit all the time? It's because people are going to give you shit. Look, we're in the fucking matrix. This whole world is a piece of shit. All right? Let's just be real. I'm sick of beating around the bush. This whole world, this whole construct and the system in which we're not even living naturally, right? This whole world is bullshit. But to be honest with you, we gotta just stay focused on what's real, which is the heart and the soul. We get too caught up in the material world. Like, I know we gotta pay bills and sustain ourselves, and that's great and all, but I think people take it too seriously, what's going on in the matrix. But a lot of people don't have metaphysical knowledge, which is understandable. And a lot of people don't trust how they feel in their heart. We don't need to be bickering and punishing, because I punish myself so much I say, damn, I wish I did this and I wish I did. But you know what? That doesn't matter. We can't do anything about the past. We can't do anything about the future. All we could do anything about is right now. Me walking down the street is all I can do. I can't go back to the past. I know there's CERN and all this technology and all this stuff, but let's just be real. Would you want to go back to the past in the matrix anyway? Because we got to get this. World isn't real, but the lessons are real. The people we cross paths with are souls and bodies. Learning, spiritual understanding is real. But we gotta stop getting so upset about some bullshit. All these little things. She said this about me, and he said this, and da-da-da. It don't matter. That shit don't even matter. Once you start getting into truth, you start to realize, man, all the stuff I've been beating myself up over, it's just, I mean, most of the stuff out here is just bullshit. You know? There are people that they beat themselves up because they couldn't live up to their parents' expectations. There are people that beat themselves up constantly because they felt like they could have been a better parent, or beat themselves up because they feel like, man, I should have treated this person better, or whatever. We gotta just let all that shit go. The problem with a lot of people is that we don't know how to let go of the matrix in the material world. Fuck all that bullshit. Fuck all that bullshit, you know? Who cares what happened 30 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about all that shit. Just do the best you can do and make things right. You make things right in your life and you move on. Gotta stop worrying about every little thing. My boss is yelling at me and blah 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 and the rent and we get, cause see, that's what the Matrix wants you to do. It wants you to constantly worry about stuff going on in this world to the point where you don't even realize that, man, this world ain't even real. All these movies and these books and this literature from spiritual masters, they say the same thing over and over and over. This world is not real. Stop taking every fucking thing so seriously. Yeah, it's okay to get mad and angry and all this stuff, but these things will bring you deeper into the Matrix. And we can't let these things like my job, my this, and this person hates me. Man, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that hate me. But I still gotta get up every day and pay my rent. I still gotta do this spiritual work that the Most High is asking me to do. I still have to make something of my life. I can't just sit here and keep punishing myself over shit I did years and years ago that I feel deep pain for. You know, I feel bad about what happened to my brother. I feel bad about people I've hurt in the past. You know, there's nothing wrong with feeling these things because it's good that we feel pain because pain teaches you a lesson. We gotta feel pain. We gotta understand something. Everything that happens in life, there's no coincidence. People I've hurt, people who hurt me, we're all here to learn something. We're all aspects of one another, playing characters to help ourselves learn something. This is a huge RPG. Everything that happens to you in your life is meant to happen. And I'm not saying that to be a bitch, like, oh, you're meant to be poor. No. There is no coincidence. We're here for a specific reason, and your life is set up based on that. And once you deviate from your soul objectives, then your life will manifest itself in another way. And that's just the way it works here. You know, getting to higher dimensions and things like that. It takes a lot of work, but the first thing you gotta do is look in the mirror and say, okay, there's good to me and then there's shitty parts of me, but that's okay because that's why we're here, to learn. We can't get caught up on petty shit. We gotta learn to let things go. One of my biggest problems is I could not let some shit go. I was angry at some family members, angry at this person, this guy, and I'm just like, is it really, what if, I said to myself, what if I hit my head and don't remember any of this shit? Would it really matter? And I'm like, probably not. If our memories got erased with all the shit that we keep bickering in the back of our head, would it really matter? No, it wouldn't. That's not to say be cold and calculating towards everything, but we gotta stay focused and understand what the reality is. We're here to learn. Every character in our life is a reflection of the internal world. Every person, every place we live, down to the number of the block that we're on, everything is a symbol and it's significant. You don't gotta go crazy looking into every little thing, but everything that's in your external world is actually within, and everything's a lesson. And when you start to change inside, your external world will change. Haven't you noticed that when you are operating on a low frequency, you start to attract people who are on a low frequency too? And then when you start to get into consciousness and get into spiritual truth, you start attracting people that are on the same level. You are what you attract. When I was a shitty person, I attracted shitty men. And I got my ass kicked over that shit. You know? When I got my shit together, I started attracting better things. Like a better job and a better, life. A more peaceful life. No chaos. No living with people that are treating me like garbage. So it's all about that vibration. And by the way, I just want to show you guys real quick the house, my childhood home, the house that I grew up in. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Don't try to come here though. So this is where I grew up as a child. This is my house. And I've been here for ever. But I moved out it's been about 5 years. I've been living on my own. Yeah, I moved out a long time ago, and so many memories in this house, and, you know, so many things. But I don't think anyone's living here anymore because there was a huge thing after my grandparents died. My mom couldn't sustain the house because, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, and she refused to get help from anybody. So I think my aunt ended up taking over and trying to maintain it. So that's a good thing. But yeah, sometimes when I walk down the street, because I don't live too far from here, I'm happy because when I first just would walk around this block and go jogging and like see my house, and I get upset, like I was supposed to be the one to be rich and buy this house and fix it up, and I would beat myself up over that because I'm like, damn, I was supposed to do something, but I wasn't in a position to do anything. Why? Because my spirit was like, that has nothing to do with you. Move on. And then now that I walk by this house, I used to get emotional. Now I walk by, it's like, that's in the past. It's dead. The past doesn't exist anymore. It was only a lesson. I walk by this house and I say, you know what? I don't want to come back. I think it's time that I get my own damn house and move somewhere where I'm happy with my fiance, and we can start our own little family if we don't break up 20 times. You know, I love him, you know. We've been together for 5 years and I love him, but we be having some fights and shit. But it's all good because it's a part of my lesson. And I accept that, you know. Everything's a lesson. Everything is symbolism. You know, chaos, craziness. Oh, I see a deer. The deer is so cute. I wish I could show you guys. I can't flip the screen over. That's so beautiful. It's a deer and a cat. Let me see if I can flip it. Can you guys see that deer? So cute. I think it's a baby. Oh my God. I'm trying to get closer, but he's gonna run away. It's two deer. Oh my God. It's 3. It's a family. Hope I'm getting this. I might hold this wrong. Okay. I'm so excited because I love animals. Here he comes. I got my Sailor Moon shirt on. I'm fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight. Fuck you, get ready to fight. That's my version. Look at, they're so beautiful. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. I'm gonna try to get by these deer. Hope they don't kick me in the face. Aww. Don't run, don't run. Oh my goodness, so cute. So beautiful. Oh, hi. Oh, they're so beautiful. Hi. You camera shy? Going for a walk, fighting evil by moonlight. Winning love by daylight. That's exactly what I do, actually. I'm a magician. I want to be a shaman. I'm in the temple doing all this stuff. It's hard work. Dealing with the spiritual shit is hard work because it's like I gotta deal with demons. I gotta deal with orbs and stuff in my videos, trying to explain to people that I ain't crazy and I'm not putting effects in my shit, and this is legit real. I got all these weird things like happening to me, and people just think I'm overly superstitious and, you know, I'm crazy or whatever. But it's hard dealing with the spiritual realm because people be thinking you on that shit or whatever. I tell them this is what I see and it is what it is. But guys, I'm gonna end this videos soon. Like I said, if you guys want tarot readings, I'm doing them for free so I could get my skills up. You know, I'm doing that for free. I'm doing caricature portraits. I'm trying to build my portfolio, and I'm doing it for really, really cheap, for 25 bucks. And also you could check out my website for other services like photography and stuff. I have green screen equipment and all these things I can bring on location. Excuse me, my voice is cutting out. Yeah. Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight. I gotta find some. I should be like the African Sailor Moon, like Sailor Kunzu, and get 4 friends that want to be the planets. You know, I'm gonna have to make a video about Sailor Moon because Sailor Moon deals a lot with the occult, and I wanted to break it down because I saw all the symbolism in the show. I'm not sure if anyone else caught that symbolism, but gotta go over that in these cartoons. Same thing with Dragon Ball Z. I'm about to play Overwatch. I'm about to play. Guys, you guys gotta. Anybody on the computer, PC, you know, gaming laptop, play Overwatch with me? That'd be fun. Alright, guys, so let me recap. What's the lesson for today? I'm gonna keep this simple and sweet. The past, the future, they don't exist. Alright? We're in the Matrix. That's 1. 2, we're in the Matrix. This world's not real. However, what you do and how you interact with people is real. How you feel inside and your memories are real. Okay? 3, you have reoccurring dreams about something, you need to take a look into it. If you see signs in your life, like the other day I saw a black spider and I saw it twice. So that's how I know the spirit was trying to get me a message. What does a black spider represent? It represents the creative feminine energy. A person or an energy that wants to create things and craft things into reality. And I saw that twice, so I knew that was a direct message from the spirit saying, prepare to create your own reality on the path in which you have to be on to get your spiritual education. I said, I got it. There might be certain numbers you see a lot, like I've been seeing the number 8 repeatedly. I look up the number 8, it's an angelic number. That means there are angels near me. That also means that, I forgot that shit, yo, my memory is so fucked up. 8 is an angelic number. It also is my birthday, March 8th, 1989. And I saw the number 8 constantly, like I would check the time on my phone, it'd be like 4:44 or, you know, stuff like that. 8 is also an infinity sign as well. It's also close to the number of completion, which is, well, they don't really use 10. They say 10. In certain spiritual traditions, they don't use 10 as a number. They just say 1 through 0. Let me see, 1 through 9. All right, is the only real numbers. That's in certain spiritual traditions, but 10 is a number of completion in certain studies and philosophies and stuff. And 8, there's a lot of symbolism in the number 8, and I forgot everything, you know, because I just say, I'm like, I worked out today and I'm just chilling. Gotta read up on that number 8 again. Alright guys, I'm gonna end it here, so let me recap again. So the Matrix, the past and the future don't exist. It's just a memory. It's just an experience. We are in a world of projections, but it's powered by energy that is real, which is the soul and the star solar energy. Time does not exist. They can go back in time with this technology. That is true. But I'm not scientific or anything, but it's a different thing that they're doing with that CERN stuff, you know, because time doesn't exist, but there's like crossing dimensions or something like that exists. Yes, it does. All right. And it's really hard to explain the CERN business, but I do know they can go through time, but it's not the way we understand it. It's time. Memories that we have in our head of bullshit, that just, I mean, you gotta make peace with things and keep it moving, because if you don't, it will destroy you inside, and it will lower your vibration, and it will, it's not good to put through, others through pain. It's just not. I mean, we all make mistakes. We all have darkness. That's